Jai Samvidhan. See, everybody today is talking about as to what is happening in the election commission. And let us also elaborate on the same subject and give certain extension to whatever is being said. Whatever is being said. So the basic issue is that it has to be decided, it has to be determined whether India has remained as a best democracy of the world, the largest democracy of the world, are the basic philosophical foundations of constitutions are being followed, or where we are deviating from that. The basic prerequisite or the requirement of the constitution or democracy is that everybody should get a level playing field. The richest person and the poorest person should have the same responsibilities and rights. And it is the responsibility of the government and the judiciary and the administration and everybody, every citizen of the country, to ensure that everybody is treated equally, whether that is being done. In the lobby of industries, the basic requirement is that all industries are given the similar sort of facilities and they should be facilitated so that the survival of the fittest principle is followed. Now we are seeing for last 10 years as to how some capitalists are supported and some capitalists who do not support the ideology of the ruling party are discriminated. So is it a free competitive economy? Is it a laissez-faire economy? It is what the capitalism means, or it is basically a monopoly or a oligopoly that is being followed by the ruling in dispensation, and certain industrials are having special privileges and the government properties are given to them on concessional rates. So if the industries do not compete with each other and the government helps particular group of industries who in return help them in raising the capital, then obviously the free competitive economy cannot be adhered to. Similarly, if in the political field, if the level playing field is not provided to all political parties and all voters are free to express their opinion, then it has to be debated as to whether the India is following the path of what was shown by our forefathers and people who wrote Constitution, headed by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. The level playing field is provided because the Constitution provided that the Supreme Court of India will be the topmost judicial authority and they can even examine the decisions taken by the government, the bills passed by the government, and they will have to ensure that whatever orders have been passed by the government are as per the Constitution, as per the provisions of the Constitution. And if that is not so, the Supreme Court has the authority to overrule and ask government to frame a law which is as per the Constitution, as per the provisions of Constitution. Now the Election Commission, because that is the body, that is a constitutional authority which conducts the elections, the basic responsibility of the Election Commission is to ensure that all political parties, without any prejudices or biases, participate in the election process and all the voters of the country are treated equally. No partisan thing is done, no favor is shown, and whatever are the provisions of the Election Commission that are followed by all political parties and the political ideologies, in spite of the fact that somebody is ruling and somebody is an opposition party. but everybody has to be treated equally, and everybody has a equal responsibility and authority. But what really happened that during last 10 years and during last 2-3 years when Mr. Rajiv Kumar was the chief election commissioner, that certain political leaders violated the provisions of the election commission and gave so divisive statements, and their expressions were against the basic philosophy of the free conduct of election process, and action should have been taken against them, but the action was not taken, and the president of that political party was given a show cause notice, and nobody knows as to what happened, because the provisions of not using very aggressive, divisive statements was that during the elections, when the tempers are high, the basic philosophical foundations of the constitutions are not violated and the country remains strong. Now, the basic point is, if the opposition parties are giving notices and the actions are taken against them, even with the slightest provocation, and the ruling party political leaders, when they use very divisive language, no action is taken against them, then this is not a free and fair election for which the election commission has been formed. Now, the constitution of the committee which selects the election commissioners, everybody in the country would agree that we have faith, ultimate faith, not on political leaders, not on administrative officers who are working under the guidance of the political leaders, because their transfer, posting and everything is dependent on them, but we have 100% faith on judiciary. And ultimately, every Indian citizen would have to have faith on the judiciary. So when the selection committee had Chief Justice of India, the Prime Minister of India and the leader of opposition, that was a fair committee. One person was independent, two persons have two conflicting ideologies, and their selection would have been better. But Government of India changed that rule, and now the Prime Minister, a senior minister and leader of opposition. So this is what happened in the selection of the Chief Election Commissioner right now, which has happened 24 hours back. A new Chief Election Commissioner has been appointed because Mr. Modi was there, Mr. Shah was there, Rahul Gandhi gave a dissent note, but nothing was heard. And on 19th, the hearing is listed on the Supreme Court, and Rahul Gandhi also said that because the listing is on 19th, let us wait for more 24 hours more, but that was not. Now, the basic question is as to whether the Supreme Court will overrule this selection and start a selection process. Again, a committee will be formed in which the Chief Justice of India will be there, the Prime Minister will be there, leader of opposition will be there. Let us see on 19th as to what happens, 24 hours more, and then we will discuss as to whether the Supreme Court, for which we have the highest regard, reverts this order, and the democratic values and the provisions of the Constitution for which Supreme Court has the responsibility are adhered to. Let us wait. We will discuss tomorrow as to whether our expectations have been met and the democracy and the constitutional responsibilities are adhered to, or they are not. We will discuss after 24 hours. Thank you. Thanks a lot.